is time for questions and answers with Kingdom Team All Call Time. You got the questions, we got the answers. You're submitting them over at kingdomreportlive.com via our form, or you are leaving them down below in the comments section of the videos that you are watching. We thank you so much for that. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're hitting that thumbs up button. Yeah, a thumbs up party is what we call that.
Yeah.
Hey, a thumb up here, a thumb up there, everywhere a thumb up, yeah.
Be careful where you put your thumb.
Watch your thumb placement. That's what we always say. But we've got some answers for you this week. Question coming to us from our friend Corey Borstein. Corey says, Disney World is requiring you to select one park per day of visiting. Do you imagine Disneyland will do the same? And do you think California Adventure is worth a full day ticket? So we've spoken to Walt Disney World individuals, people that have been there. We had somebody who was recently on our broadcast, Chloe Ferreira, who spoke at length about the types of experience that you can now sort of enjoy at Walt Disney World and the theme parks. Yes, you are paying full price, but she had mentioned that, hey, you get to do everything you want. You know, there's really no waiting. You know, you get to go on things multiple times if you want to. But this is obviously about Disneyland, and these parks are much smaller than your typical Disney World park. So California Adventure, being one of those parks that has always felt like a half-day park, you know, if that, is a good question, I think. So Tyler, what do you think?
I think kind of what I was talking about in a previous segment, like part of the reason I think they're doing these one park things and not letting people hop is because it's just easier for them in the beginning here to track those numbers and at a time. I mean, you know, I think if you could get a reservation to California Adventure, I think a lot of people would then, you know, want to go over to Disneyland, and then Disneyland would probably end up more full than California Adventure, you know, just one or the other, really. I mean, I could see them having a hard time keeping one less crowded than the other, or keeping one not so crowded. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be hard for them to allow people to park hop. And as far as is California Adventure a 1 day ticket? It depends on what you're looking for. And for me, it is. I like going to California Adventure a lot because we get to go to Disney so often.
Spoiled.
We used to be able to go to Disney so often, I guess I should say. Yeah, no, we are spoiled. I'll fully admit that. And I think everybody needs to remember, if they get to go to Disney on a regular basis, then don't be a passhole. You're very lucky. You're very lucky. Yeah. So, it depends on what you're going for. We like to eat and drink and hang out. You know, I know Wade, you are more of like a park explorer. I feel like you like to go experience a lot of different things. So we are there to hang out and see our friends that work at the parks and go to the festivals and have a drink at Carthay. Like, we do love that aspect of California Adventure. So for me, 100% worth it. We spend more time in California Adventure than we do at Disneyland at this point. We'll go and do a couple things in Disneyland and be like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So, but for the normal person who maybe doesn't get to go on a regular basis, I could see Disneyland being a much better proposition. So it just is what you're looking for.
Yeah, California Adventure has a unique breathability to it by comparison. You know, I think that's why I like also jumping over to California Adventure as quickly as I can. And that's because it's just so much more open. You know, Disneyland is grown in at this point. You know, Disneyland at one point, way back when, was certainly an environment that was far less suffocating in terms of like growth and trees and things that had been moved into place. Now, and I don't think I've ever said that about Disneyland, it's suffocating. You know, but now you go to a place like Disneyland and you're just surrounded by so much packed into a tight spot. And so it can, especially if it's very crowded, feel extra suffocating, you know. And so you go over to California Adventure, which was designed for 21st century crowds, and those walkways are huge and those pathways are wide and long. And so now you walk into an environment that's radically different, you know, in terms of feeling. And I definitely think that California Adventure, if all of its, you know, Hollywood backlot stages and stuff like that, if all their spaces were open, it would definitely feel like a place that you could go spend more than a half day, and especially we made your reservations and ensured that you got into some dining and stuff like that. Tiki Andy in our YouTube chat referenced that if Avengers Campus was open in this park at the point of return, it would probably be worth a full day value. Katrina, what do you think?
I agree with you guys completely. Again, I think it depends on what you're looking for. If you want to do rides, you have the little ones, then Disneyland would probably be your best bet instead of DCA. But if you're, in our age group, or you're just, childless millennials, or if you're just, retired people that just want to go out and just have a day to yourselves and just go for a walk or whatever and grab a drink, hey, DCA is perfect. I mean, you can grab a drink, go walk around, get some food somewhere. There's dining. So just depends on what you're looking for, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't object for them to open one park, or you were only allowed to do one park as soon as they open for the first few months or so. I wouldn't object to that. But I mean, it would force people to stay more, a couple more days. So if you were brand new to Disneyland, you would have to go Disneyland one day, DCA the next day to kind of get your ideas, or to kind of get what you want. But for us, I don't mind DCA for a day. That's what we always do.
And to go back to what you were saying, they make no mistake, they have positioned California Adventure to be a more adult oriented park. They know that they're doing that. I remember even when I went to a media event a couple years ago at this point, and they were talking about moving, Oogie Boogie Bash over to California Adventure. They were saying, and well, actually, this was even before that. They were talking about the decorations on Buena Vista Street and things like that for Halloween, right? And they said that they specifically wanted to have Disneyland have that more childlike feel, and then California Adventure to feel more adult, a little bit more scary, have that kind of childless millennial thing going on. They didn't put it that way, but that's what it is, right? And so I think that's exactly right. That again, it's what are you doing? You're going to be with your family, or are you going to be with? Is it going to be two adults? Because I think if it's going to be two adults or even a group of adults, I think California Adventure is a great place to go for a whole day.
Producer, you're somebody that enjoys yourself some Disneyland Resort theme park experiences. Do you think California Adventure is worth a full day value?
So normally when my brother-in-law comes out, we get multiple days. So we'll spend one day at Disneyland and one day at California Adventure if we have to. He doesn't get the park hopper sometimes, so I've done the California Adventure Day all in one day. It's fun. There's definitely stuff to do that can go the whole day. My only thing is, while we're there, I'm thinking about that castle. Yeah. I'm thinking about going to Disneyland. I'm thinking, what could we be doing over there? And I agree that California Adventure has so much more food. I always end up eating over at California Adventure. And I hardly ever eat at Disneyland anymore. It's like, okay, we plan it. Oh, we have a fast pass over here at California Adventure. Let's go get some food while we're there. So yes, I can see definitely there's enough to do at California Adventure. There's enough there to spend the whole day. But deep down, I still want
where you want to be.
I want that Disneyland. I want to be able to go over there. So that's my take on it.
Well, that's a good take, I must say. California Adventure definitely seems like a park that's far more casual in terms of atmosphere, in terms of being able to sit, relax. It's a much more easier to navigate park because areas, again, are so open and you can see across from one region to another. Whereas Disneyland, you turn a corner, a lot of times you can't see much further than that. You can't see much further than 10 feet in front of your face because it's built that way, and there's so many you need to focus here. You need to look at this and this attraction and this facade and, that tree and that sort of thing. Whereas California Adventure, you're walking along a path, you can usually see one or two lands away, depending on where you're at. So I would say, from, it sounds like our perspective, it can be definitely a value, especially if you're looking for that one day, one park experience. We hope that this certainly helped you in determining whether or not you would plan when the Disneyland Resort theme park experience comes back online, assuming park hoppers are not the thing they're going to be doing.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.